Well, hello. My name is Mike Nolan. I'm the director of the Small Business Development Center here at Minnesota State University, as well as your instructor here for entrepreneurship at South Central. I've owned quite a few businesses in my life, and I'm really excited about sharing with you kind of the world of entrepreneurship. And we're going to take a walk through a whole wide variety of ways to be an entrepreneur, how to be an entrepreneur, and I'm hoping that you'll have a lot of fun. I've assembled a team to actually teach you entrepreneurship this semester. One of our teammates isn't here with us today, but it's Dakota Crow. Dakota is an entrepreneur in residence at United Health. United Health is the 14th largest company in the United States, multi-billion-dollar company, and they've seen a need to actually create an innovation process within their own company, a way to think entrepreneurially about new ideas. So he's one of 10 entrepreneurs in residence, and he works through entrepreneurship every single day with a great big company behind him. So that's just one of the aspects of entrepreneurship. Myself, again, my name's Mike Nolan. I started my entrepreneurial journey early. I started a few businesses in college, but you probably know Z99, the radio station KEEZ here in Mankato. I purchased that in 1993 at the age of 29 years old. I tell people that the bank loaned me money for three reasons. I had a great business plan, I had accurate financial projections, and my dad co-signed the note. So we're going to talk about those ways to access capital and to be able to borrow money and what's going to be required to fund your business startup. Our next team member is Meg Stoyer. Meg is a MBA student here at Minnesota State University, but she also is an entrepreneur, and she has specialty expertise around starting an e-commerce business. So she knows a lot about the levers to pull using social media and other online methods to building a business. In addition to the radio station, I also started an online company myself called MinnesotaCars.com, which was very, very successful, turned into a publishing company and a software company for car dealers. And I also own the Jersey Mike's franchises in town, so I've had a little bit of fast food experience. And along the way, I've done quite a few other things. So let's get started. Wanted to tell you a little bit about how we're going to structure the class. In general, there are going to be four main sections to the class. The first few weeks are around an introduction to entrepreneurship. So we're going to look at some of those first ideas around entrepreneurship, get you familiar with some of the vocabulary. We're going to then move into how are you going to choose what business you want to write your business plan around. We are strongly encouraging you to think about a brick and mortar type business, a physical product, a product you can hold, delivered in a physical manner. Not that you can't explore other ideas, they're just much, much more difficult to do that kind of research. But we'll get more into that later. We're then going to move into something called the Business Model Canvas. And this is really Dakota's area of expertise. It's probably only about 5 or 10 years old. It starts with this concept called lean entrepreneurship. And it's the methodology they use within United Health to quickly sketch out a business plan and quickly sketch out how to test different parts and projects, create a minimum viable product that you can get into customers' hands right away, and do some iterative testing. So he's an expert at that, so he's going to be leading that section of our class. And then I'm going to go back, along with Meg, into your one and only kind of textbook expenditure for this class, which is LivePlan. LivePlan is that traditional business model planning software, but now it's delivered online. So it's a very iterative way that you can look at a business plan. You can work on different parts of the business plan. We're going to have 3 check-ins on your business plan before we grade your final. So the goal is that you get experience with the big world of entrepreneurship. You get to explore kind of your own entrepreneurial skills. You get to work through this business model canvas on how to test and iterate an idea very quickly. And then you get to produce an actual, what I call a bankable business plan. There are business plan events in the world, and one of those is getting somebody to loan you money. If you're going to get somebody to loan you money, you're going to need a business plan. You're going to need to prove some things to them. So with that, I'll introduce Meg, and Meg will go over the different parts of the grading each week.
I'll hope I'm on the screen here. I'll stand right where Mike was standing. But nice to meet you all. I think Mike did a great job of outlining things, but each week we'll have a discussion board assignment. It will typically be based around an article, a video, one or more articles or videos, and we want to get your opinions on those. So we won't provide you with much work in terms of summarizing things back to us. We want you to really give us your thoughts if you have any questions, and really just kind of dig deeper into, would you ever want to be an entrepreneur? Have you thought about this? We're going to give you a lot of assignments that let you explore those options. Then there will also be a quiz. So on the content of either video lectures like this, any information we're providing you, or those articles and videos, there will just be a 10-point quiz, easy as that. All of the information will be directly from the materials, and you can use any of those materials as you're taking the quizzes. Then we'll have a few other assignments. We're going to ask you to do an entrepreneurial interview. So choose an entrepreneur. If you don't know one or feel uncomfortable reaching out to one, let us know. I know Mike and Dakota have a lot of connections that they can help you find someone to interview. That will be happening kind of towards the end of the semester, but start thinking about it now so you make sure to get that interview in. We'll also be doing the business model canvas. As Mike said, you'll be doing a few iterations of that, a few iterations of your business plan, and then we'll also be asking you to pitch your business plan. So that will be a quick 1 to 2 minute video. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. On your iPhone, on your computer, we're standing in front of a computer right now. Just something really simple, but to teach you how to pitch comfortably, get more comfortable with pitching, and we'll also ask you to go out and pitch to some of your friends and family. So really getting comfortable. Once you get in front of a banker with your bankable business plan, we want you to be comfortable presenting it verbally as well. So those will be the big assignments each week. I'll kind of be the key contact person. I'll send you an email with a checklist. There will be more kind of rubric grading criteria for some of these bigger assignments that we'll send out as it comes. But if you have any questions on anything, shoot an email to me. If Mike and Dakota need to get involved, I'll pass that on to them. But since there's 3 of us, we'll try to keep the communication flow as easy as possible. But anything on the discussion boards, we will all be reading and commenting back on. As we get to your business plans and business model canvases, the likelihood will be we split you up. So each one of us has 10 or so plans we'll be grading, just so we can get to know them a little bit better and see the changes. But other than that, it should be a good 16 weeks, and I think Mike is going to just give a little bit more information on one of his favorite new infographic-y type, I don't even know what you call this, fun pieces of content just to say kind of how we want you to learn and think about entrepreneurship.
So part of my job is I run the Small Business Development Center. So after I sold my last company, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I just sold AutoConnect software and my publishing company in Minnesota Cars, which was the Minnesota online consumer portal, and decided to go down to Melbourne, Australia and get an MBA. And I traveled around the world with my family, and I was offered a job teaching entrepreneurship, not only here, but in Germany and then in South Africa. So I really got the bug about teaching and giving back. And part of that was to say yes when they asked me if I wanted to be the director of the Small Business Development Center, which is a nonprofit hosted right here on campus, the campus of Minnesota State. We're one of 900 small business centers around the country. So every single day we see a new entrepreneur coming through our doors. And it's an entrepreneur who either wants to start a business or grow their own business. So grow their existing business. So I get to see a lot of business plans and a lot of ideas and hear the problems and concerns and opportunities and the excitement that goes along with it. And I ran into this infographic online as I was researching the lean business model and the business model canvas, and it basically says there are things that there are things, right, and there are things that we know, right? So things that we know. Oh, by the way, one of the lean entrepreneurship tips is when you run out of ink and a marker, don't put it back, you throw it away. That's a lean entrepreneurship tip. So there are things we know, and there are things that we know, and there are things that we know we don't know. So think about that. there are things that you know that you know. And there are things that you know you don't know. So if we keep going down this, there are things that we don't know. And there are things that we don't know we know. And there are things that we don't know we don't know. So what do I mean by this? So Steve Jobs, you might have heard of him, he created a small little company called Apple. So Apple Computer grew into the largest company in the entire United States with over $900 million of cash sitting on their checking accounts. He absolutely revolutionized retail with the Apple stores. He revolutionized the music business with iTunes. He revolutionized the personal computer industry with the introduction of the Apple IIe and then the Mac. And he revolutionized the cellular phone business. And those are only just a few of the businesses that he revolutionized. And it all started with something he didn't know he didn't know. The story goes that he basically followed a pretty girl into a calligraphy class. He didn't know about calligraphy. And if he had been at Reed College and had that opportunity to attend a calligraphy class, out of the blue, it was pure exploration, right? So we call this exploration. You're going out into the world and you're finding out the stuff that you don't know. And hopefully this entrepreneurship course is going to give you a chance to explore. Along the way, you get some intuition. So as he took that calligraphy class, he found this beautiful art of how to put letters together proportionally. And we take it for granted, but in the world before that, in the days of the selectric typewriter, and in the early days, every single letter on the page took up the exact amount of space. And so everything was dull. And if you look at emails now and the way books are printed, there's this beautiful kerning between letters. It's an actual art form. But he had this intuition that this kind of art in the way that we communicate language, there was a way to fit this into the computer universe. And this was even before the Apple IIe was born. He had this intuition. There was an idea, this connection between calligraphy and art and the presentation and the world of technology that he was interested in. So you have exploration, you have intuition. Well, at that point, he knew he didn't know some things. He didn't know circuit board design. He didn't know some of the technology or the computer programming languages. So at this point, you go out and you learn. So that intuition leads you to an idea. So you go out and you learn, you research, you study. So this aspect of those things that you know now that I don't know how to do this and I need it. Or sometimes you find a partner. If you don't know how to actually run a restaurant, you go out and you find a partner who knows how to run a restaurant, who knows how to cook or be the front of the room. You know somebody who knows circuit board designing or whatever you need. You find a partner who can bring that kind of learning. And then those things that you know deep in your heart, we call that knowledge. Is there a D in the knowledge? See? I only misspell things every single day. One of the greatest inventions is that little red squiggly underline. So this kind of structure, this idea that we're going to start with exploration and you're going to be given a free chance to kind of explore different business sides. You'll have a hunch, you'll have a feeling that there might be something here. And this is the kind of work that Dakota's going to do with you, where you use this business model canvas to kind of test out an idea and try to prove intuition and how are you going to go about and prove those kind of things. We're going to do the study and the research and market studies to see if this is feasible. And from there, you're going to know that this is going to work or not work. And part of this is a business plan to display your knowledge that this could work enough that you're going to loan me some money to help me get my business started. That's what we're going to do. Hope you're willing to come along in this. It's probably not too late to drop the course if you're absolutely scared to death. So I appreciate it. And both, so Dakota, Meg, and I, we all look forward to being your instructors. Thank you.